about today is I have a little bit of a confession to make. I am not so much a... It's not really a secret for people who know me, but I guess you guys wouldn't know this, so I'll let you in on the secret. I'm a gigantic bookworm. Yes, it's been an addiction for a while now, and I've sought help, but nothing really, will do it for me. So I've just hauled up with my Shakespeare plays and my Tuesdays with Maury novel, and I just kind of fight through it that way, just read it out. And speaking about Shakespeare, I recently read a kick-ass book, Juliet. It's by Anne Fortier, who I've actually never heard of before, but somebody at Chapter suggested this book, so I read it, and lo and behold, Juliet, duh, has to do with Romeo and Juliet, one of my favorite Shakespeare plays. And this got me thinking, why don't I just connect my two passions, you know, bring my books and my nails and just bring them together. So here we go. I have a Juliet tutorial for you. It's a rose tutorial. It's really simple. I'm not going to make a complicated rose or anything like that. Something simple you can do, something funky. I'm wearing my nice red Juliet dress and I'm all glammed up because, you know, that's what Shakespeare does to me. It just really excites me. So we'll get started. And base coat, you know that's important. So always remember your base coat. Always remember to subscribe. Base coat's important, subscribing's important. 2 rules, people. Stick to the rules, okay? Next what we're gonna do is we're gonna use my pink. I've used this before. I think I used this in my French manicure tutorial also. So this is a good pink to use just because it's a very neutral tone and it'll give us a nice base background for our rose and leaves. We're also gonna use the red for our rose, green for our leaves, and brown for the accents. So this pink is kind of like a very light pink. It might need 2 coats to be a proper base color, not like we did in the French manicure where we did 1. This time I'm gonna do 2 coats because I want to have like a good solid background color. There we go. So now we have our base color. That doesn't want to close. Now we have our base color, so we have our pink. It's all nicely done. Well, for the most part, we'll clean it up afterwards if need be. And we're gonna take our red for the rose. Now I'm not actually going to use the, this is like the black one I use in the zebra / tiger pattern. It's got like a thin brush, but I'm actually not going to use that. I'm just going to use the red as a color just because this is the most vibrant red I have. So I'm just going to use it, and I'm going to use a paintbrush to paint because a paintbrush gives a lot more control. And now I'm just going to take a very thin brush just because it's more convenient to use. So I'm just going to take a little red, and I don't even know how to describe this. It's sort of like a bell shape. So you're going to make a rose that's going to face that way. So the top of the rose is going to be here and the base is going to be there. The reason I do it that way is because if someone's looking at your nails, then the rose is right side up for them. So I'm going to make a sort of bell shape. I'm going to draw a line, curvy line here with the red. And then you're going to go inwards and outwards. So it kind of looks like a weird bell. Inwards and outwards, so it looks like a bell going that way. And then you're just going to color it in red. Don't worry about it being perfect. Nature is imperfect, so your rose does not have to be absolute perfection. Now on the adjacent fingers, the fingers right beside it, on the fingers beside it, what you're going to do is you're going to draw leaves. So you're going to go from a point about this way, downwards. Oh, I still had some red on my paintbrush. Clean your paintbrush properly first, otherwise you'll have red streaks everywhere. So go downwards, and then around in a leaf shape. So it's going to be kind of like a lopsided triangle almost. There we go. And let it kind of culminate in a tip. and then just color it in green. And you will have to go over the green more than once if it's the same shade as mine in order for it to color in properly. And do the same on the nail on the opposite side. So you're gonna have go on a tip like that and go downwards in a leaf type shape. And now I'm just gonna do a second coat on both leaves so that they're more filled in. There we go. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw a swirl around the top, which indicates that the rose is closed. Now my brown doesn't color in a very dark way. It's a kind of goes on very light. So I might have to go over it a few times. If you use a black, then going over it once is more than enough. So what I do is I make kind of like a little swirl shape. There we go. Swirl, and then I close it off like the rose is closed. And now I'm just going to draw 2 petals going downwards and this way. It's a closed rose, and then I'm just going to outline the rest of the rose so that it looks like it's petals all around. So that's like the closed rose, and now I'm just going to do the leaves. So line in the middle, just flicking upwards, and then little flicks on the side for the detailing. Now the reason I'm doing a rose for Juliet, in case you didn't know, there's a lot about roses in this book, and there's quite a bit of mention in Shakespeare's play as well. So that's the reasoning for my rose themed Juliet. So now you have a little closed rose, and if you imagine, that's where the stem would go, and you have your little leaves, and that's it. You're pretty much done. Now just top coat once it's dry and you're finished. Cute little rose tutorial. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. I strongly suggest you read this book if you're a bookworm like I am. It's a very, very good book, so go for it. And feel free to comment below and tune in for more. See you guys later. Bye.